Good morning, students. Students, in the last video, we learnt about the safety measures while performing different activities at school, at home, or on road. I hope you all have understood that. In this video, we will learn about first aid. Now, what is first aid? First aid means the first medical help given to an injured person before a doctor arrives. It is an important action as sometimes it takes time to reach the doctor. So, primary help can prevent big mishaps because sometimes accident occurs in spite of being careful also. So, here are ways to deal with some emergencies. That what kind of first aid should be provided in which case. Now, first is for cuts and wounds. Now, we should not neglect any wound, whether it is major or minor, because germs can enter in our body from these open cuts and may cause infection. So we can have following first aids. What we can do? Firstly, wash away all the dirt around the wound. Clean the affected area with antiseptics like Dettol or Savlon available at the home. Then place a cotton wrapped in the sterile gauze on the wound and press. But press it gently. It will stop bleeding. Wrap a sterile gauze bandage around the wounded area. So in this way, you can give a first aid if you ever get cut or wound. Next is nose bleeding. One more thing about the cuts also, that if the cut is deep, then you should consult a doctor and ask for anti-tetanus injection also. Okay, students? Now next, let us do nose bleeding. Now in case of nose bleeding, firstly keep the patient upright. Then press the bleeding side of nose firmly. Then what you can do else? Keep an ice pack or wet cloth on the nose and head. Ask the patient to breathe through his mouth and not through the nose. So these type of first aid will just help the patient to get relieved. Then the next is if anyone get fracture. Now what is a fracture? A crack or a break into a bone is called a fracture. Now it is very painful. Now what first aid you can give? Apply a splint. Now what is a splint? Splint is a kind of support which you can give. Like you can just tie a wooden strip, or you can tie a cardboard piece, like sheets of papers and newspapers and magazines to just give support to the broken bone. Now why this support is needed? Because it hurts more if that part just move. So this type of support is given so as try to avoid the unnecessary movement of that particular bone. Then what you can do else? Keep the patient calm and send him to the doctor. Like you should console the patient that don't worry, it will be okay. That is also a kind of first aid. Now then the another thing is burns. Now burns are of many kinds depending on how are they arised. Like it can be from hot objects like hot water, anything hot, or fire, electric points, or chemicals also. Chemicals also can burn. Now if the burn is minor, then it can be treated at home also what you have to do, pour running cold water on the burn and apply an antiseptic lotion. Then we can also apply toothpaste. Like if you don't have antiseptic cream or lotion, you can also apply toothpaste on that portion, or baking soda paste with water. But if the burn is severe, like in case of severe burns, and if the blisters are formed, then in that case what you can do is, first of all, do not prick any blister. Gently cover the burn with the sterile gauze. Then give the patient a warm drink. Like, do not give normal water or cold water to drink. Give the patient a warm drink, like warm milk, warm tea, anything like that. Take the patient to the doctor as soon as possible. You can also apply a sterile piece dipped in baking soda on the wound gently. It will also give some kind of relief to the patient. But in the case of severe burns, you should consult the doctor. Then, if the burn is caused by any chemical, firstly, remove any clothing from the affected area. Then use plenty of water to wash off the chemical and cover the burn with sterile gauze and send for the doctor. So in this way, you can give the first aid to the burns. So I hope that you have got some information related to first aid. So this finishes with the today's lecture. Thank you, students. Have a nice day. Stay safe.